Hey there, fellow adult collectors, comic book aficionados. Welcome back. We have a CGC unboxing. Nothing major in it, but thought I would share since people seem interested in it. We have a cameo here by Miss Kitty. If I sit down, there she is. That's all there is to it. You can't pick her back up because she gets mad. And, you know, I could sit here and pretend like I don't know what it is, like we see on many channels. I don't know. Does anybody actually like that whole like shock value thing, and let's pretend like I don't know the grade, even though, or I love when they are like, oh, I didn't even know I was getting a box from CGC. You know, they notify you and they send you a list of what's in it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you don't know what's in there, you don't know what the grades are, sure. Anyway, that's enough of a rant. We can go ahead and start pulling these out. Or I could go like this. Oh, I don't know what it is, but you know, you can actually see the number on the back. So we'll get going here. And this is a key, minor key, and that is XMen 114. And it is the first use of, what makes that a key? First use of the word uncanny in the title. So they go from being the X-Men to the uncanny X-Men in this issue, and it's an 8.5, and it's not like a huge grade, but it's okay. This was in pretty rough condition when I started with it, because all of these books are books that I've cleaned and pressed. I have the original slip for one that I will show you, because it was one in here that I broke out of the case. But there you go. That's X-Men 114 from 1978, ladies and gentlemen. I'll let you take a look at the back here really quickly. And it says the day the X-Men died. The day the X-Men died. Not you, Miss Kitty. You need to give me a little space here. Here we have, and this was a little bit of a disappointment, because it says Thor 337, which of course is the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill. No grader notes, but I really am not seeing very many flaws. I can see one crease on the back that would have been a color breaking crease that you couldn't really flatten it out, because it's one of those creases that's always going to be there. Aside from that, I thought it would do a little better than a 9, but that's alright. First appearance of Beta Ray Bill. And when I picked this one up, it was like a 7. So from 7 to 9, I'm not complaining. Still, I thought I could pull a little bit more out of it. First appearance of Beta Ray Bill. A lot of spec on this book. A lot of people watching and waiting on this one because they're expecting for Beta Ray Bill to show up at some point. Which I like Beta Ray Bill, actually. Here's one. Web of SpiderMan #1. Almost made it. Almost made it to a 9.8. And this is another one. When I picked it up at the show, they had assessed it at about a 9. So again, pressing it from a 9 to a 9.6, I can't complain. And not everything is a pressable defect, you know. You got to know what you're working with. But Web of Spider-Man #1 from 1985. Where were you in 1985? What were you doing? Suffering in junior high school? I hated junior high school. I didn't like high school either. Not a fan. How are we doing on glare? Can you see everything okay? And that, of course, is the lovely and talented Miss Lady Pop Hunter behind the camera, hiding from view. This is a key that doesn't get that much love. Iron Man 170 from 1983. Cleaned up to a 9.4, and this one was like 8.5-ish, so that's not bad. And this is the first time Rhodey becomes Iron Man. So, and it's an event key. Of course, you know James Rhodes, Iron Man's attaché, who eventually ends up being War Machine in the movies. So this is the first time he takes over for Tony Stark. Tony can't do it anymore for whatever reason, and he's like, all right, I'll wear the armor. So that's significant. An Iron Man you've never seen before. In books like this, they're starting to take a closer look at too. A lot of people who do spec, because there's rumors of like the Iron Wars coming up. So anything relating to that from Iron Man, people are jumping off on. Again, I'm not huge on spec. I don't really care that much, but a lot of people do like to talk about it. This is a Hellfire Club, early Hellfire Club, XMen 132, also a 9.4. Another book that I cleaned up quite a bit. It had a lot of creases in it. So to pull out a 9.4, again, I can't complain too much. I don't know if it ever would have hit a 9.8 though, because it's just got some bad cuts. The way that the cover has been cut is pretty wonky, and you can really see it on the back there. You see how it's got that frame overlap on the left-hand side. And you can see it, of course, you could see it in the front because the border is bad, but it stands out on the back as well. So there's a lot of flaws in just the way that this was cut, which is probably part of what's holding the grade back. But I would never try to alter the condition of the book outside of just cleaning and pressing it. This one I wanted to do just because I like the cover rather. And again, another one I'm not quite sure why it didn't make it all the way. Probably because there are a couple of ticks on this that probably can't press out. 9.6 Incredible Hulk 333, and that's a McFarlane book. He did the artwork for this. But I just really like the cover on this one. Another one I like, and I forget what number it is, it's the Gray Hulk where he's sitting in the throne. That's a nice one. But yeah, the ticks, the unpressable ticks on this particular one keep it from getting all the way to a 9.8. I just like the use of the negative space on the cover, where they just kind of black him all the way out, and then there's his smile. And of course this is Gray Hulk, not Green Hulk. Here's one. This is an event book 142, and that is the deaths of the alternate reality X-Men in here. Another one that I clean, and again, I've cleaned and pressed all of these. And a nice, this is 1981. Nice Lego ad on the back. I like this. This episode, or this issue, everybody dies. And another shot at this, and I picked this up at the show not too long ago at the last Atlanta Comic Convention we attended. Another Devil Dinosaur. This is my second copy. And this one was really rough. It was really, really soiled on the back, a lot of creases on the front, and I got it for a really good price because of that. And I pressed it into a 9.6, and that's nice. That's good work. Although my other one is also a 9.6, and that's also one that I picked up that was ratty, that I worked on. But I'll grab a Devil Dinosaur anytime I can. One of these days, I'm going to press it into a 9.8. First appearance of Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy. It's a little Moon Boy, the first human. He's pretty hairy. Mm-hmm. Gotta love Jack Kirby. Next, an underrated key, and that is the XMen 211 first appearance of the Marauders. Plus, it's got the anniversary border, which a lot of collectors really like collecting these border covers. The 25th anniversary Marvel borders are hot with a lot of collectors. And again, first appearance of the Marauders. This one, it can't go higher than a 9.4. I cleaned it and pressed it anyway and sent it in. Again, underrated key issue. The ticks where the staples are just starting to tear in, so it's not likely to get higher than that this particular issue. Now this one I'm a little frustrated with, to be honest, and it's like it's special edition Spider-Man versus the Hulk. And this comes from Chicago Tribune, I think was this one, right? Yeah, or no, the Columbus Dispatch version. Columbus Dispatch. And that's flat as a pancake, and it's, the grader's notes say stains. And I'm like, okay, where are they? Did I miss something? I don't know. So I'm like, because I love these kind of oddball books like this. But what are you going to do? Maybe I missed something, and I'll look it over. Another one here. Nothing spectacular. But this is a desirable book, probably because of the way the cover's drawn, and it's, it's got Wendigo, X-Men number 140 from 1980. Another one I cleaned up. Although it's, again, I don't know if this could get that much higher than where it is, because the ticks in the back where the staple is are just starting to break in. So there's only so much you can do with it. I really do like that cover, though. And that's John Byron and Terry Austin for the artwork. It's really classic looking. Thor 338, second appearance of Beta Ray Bill. And funny thing about that, the difference in value between a first and a second appearance, because the first appearance of Beta Ray Bill can fetch quite a bit, and then the second appearance, it's like nobody cares. I was hoping for a 9.8, couldn't quite make it, didn't quite make it, and I can see a couple of ticks in the back. This one in particular right here where the staple is, again, that's not one that can be fixed really, because it's just starting to break in there, so you can't get that straight, and that's what very likely held this back from a 9.8. I'll get a 9.8 out of one of these one day. Again, these are not, second appearance isn't one that goes for a whole hell of a lot, but it's a good companion to the first book. They really belong together. You know what I mean? And I do have a 337 in a 9.8, out of which I showed in a previous unboxing. Let me pull out that other Thor. It would be all the way down there. I showed that 9.8 in a previous unboxing, because that one was one that one of my miracle presses, I got a lot of good results out of it. See, these two should be together. I like seeing the second appearance with the first appearance. Second appearances are underrated in most cases, unfortunately. People don't seem to appreciate them. Punisher #1, regular series, came out in a 9.4, and it does have a couple of color breaking spine ticks in the back, so it probably cannot go higher than a 9.4. This is one of my original ones that I purchased off the newsstand myself, or from the comic shop myself rather. And then it's got a nice ad on the back there. First issue of an unlimited series, it says. Kind of rudimentary artwork on the cover, but it's got its charm. Watch that box. A second XMen 140. This one in a 9.4. And what was the other one? XMen 140 here. The other one was a 9. This one came out better. Not sure what's holding it back, but that's okay. It's still really impressive artwork. Fist to fist with the savage fury of Wendigo. Animal Man #1 from 1988. This is a tough one to get in a higher grade, so I'm happy that I was able to get this to a 9.6 status. Believe it or not, this is a book that people are looking for, and again, tough to find at a higher grade. And this was probably a 9 when I started with it. Animal Man, of course, has animal powers. He can reach out with his mind and latch on to an animal and duplicate their ability. Which comes in handy. I remember one issue, because I read this series, one issue where he was in a fight with somebody and they actually literally ripped his arm out of the socket, and he's laying there bleeding out like, holy crap, what do I do? And he's feeling around for different animals and latched onto a worm and grew his arm back. Because you know worms can grow back missing parts.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, it works. Creative writing.
Mm-hmm.
This I got in a lot not too long ago. Oh, that's so close. And you know what stopped this from getting all the way to a 9.8 is the bad cut, I think. Because I can't find a mark on it. It's Wolverine #1 from 1988. A really highly sought after book right now. And it's got a pinup on the back. Yay! Wolverine #1 at last in his own monthly series. First Wolverine as Patch, the alias Patch. So, event key plus first issue key. And it's Wolverine. As we're starting to dwindle down here, this one came out really nice, and that is Lobo #1. I'm a fan of the original Lobo. Very underrated, sort of anti-hero, sometimes villain, sometimes not character. First appearance in Omega Men 3, and that's one that we should probably talk about sometime in the key segment that we do, the underrated keys. I think Lobo's first appearance is a very underrated key. That came out in a 9.8. I'm happy with that. And that's great artwork too. And that's Simon Bisley doing the artwork, I believe. got here? Oh, yeah. XMen 104 from 1977. A little rough, but it looks a lot better than when I found it. There's a stain on the back that I could not remove, and you know, you can see there's some spine ticks there and so on. This is the first Starjammers as a cameo in the back, which makes it a good key. And it was written by Chris Claremont, so the story doesn't suck. Chris Claremont was probably the best writer they ever had for this series. But yeah, rough copy, but it's a lot better than when I found it. So I can't complain. As we work our way down. I was hoping for a 9.8 in this, but that's alright. And that, of course, is Spider-Man 363. And I want to say that's what, the third Carnage? But of course, you know, second and third appearances don't go for a whole hell of a lot. I just know it cleaned up really nicely. I thought I could get a 9.8 out of it, but I didn't quite make it. But, you know, 9.6. And again, 9.6s are underrated. There was a time when they first really started grading stuff, 9.6s were almost unheard of. Now everybody wants a 9.9 and a 10. And you're not... That is extremely rare unless you've got like a smack new book. And of course it's very likely because of, you see in the staple corner there where it's just starting to dig in. So it probably can't go higher than that. And very likely I missed that after I cleaned it up. Another underrated key. XMen 244 from 1989, and that is the first Jubilee. First Jubilee. And I knew that I didn't think this would get higher than a 9.4, but I wanted to get it encapsulated anyways. And I do have a 9.8 of XMen 244 already. But after I worked on this one, I figured I may as well go ahead and send it in. And that was a piece of cardboard stuck on the front there just now. It looked like there was a tear, but there's no tear. I just took it off. It's another underrated book. As we get down to the wire here, another G.I. Joe 53 in a 9.6, and of course what makes this popular is the border. And Miss Kitty, what is it, sweetie? Alright, I know. She wants some attention. The 25th anniversary border cover that a lot of collectors really love about this series. And I forget how many there are of the border covers from that month. Like 35 or 36 of them or something. I don't remember. And they got some weird stuff like, I think every book that was released at that time got a border. So you have like Ewoks got a border, Alf got a border, stuff like that. Care Bears, the Care Bears from Star Comics, which Star was a division of Marvel. I love these covers, and particularly that it's Snake Eyes. And speaking of border covers, oh yeah, Transformers number 22 border cover in a 9.8. I'm glad too, because I think I pressed this one like 3 times just to get it centered right, because when I picked it up it had some curvature, so it was off, and there was just some overlap in the front. So I was happy that I was able to get this one just evened up so nicely. And I do really like that cover. And it says, actually, first appearance of the Stunticons. First appearance of the Stunticons. So minor key there. I suppose the the border could make it a key too. You might classify that as an event key. You don't think so? Oh, she doesn't think so. She's shaking her head, folks. What do you know? Now this one. Let me get the thing here. This is the one that I have the slip for. If I can find it. In the front? Where?
Right there by your hand.
There we go. This is, of course, Transformers #1. Origin, first appearance of the Transformers. Transformers #1 in a 9/4. And this is another one that you will see if you go back and you look at our convention tour videos. And I believe I got this from the Atlanta Comic Convention also. I picked this up in a bundle from somebody. Transformers #1, and it was already encapsulated. And I looked at it and I said, yeah, you know what? There's some pressable defects on here. I can clean this up. Now, it can't really go higher than a 9/4 because it does have that rough cut on the top. It was badly cut when it was printed. So I don't think it can get higher than this. But it's a shade better than the grade that it was. And I'll show you the slip here. That's the original grade. So from 8.5 to 9.4, I'll take it. That's pretty good. And like I said, that rough cut really kind of prevents it from going any higher than a 9.4 grade. But I'm not unhappy with that at all. I think that's good work. Anytime that you can clean and press it and bump it, you should be happy. And I'm happy with this. And I just... It kills me too, because we watch a lot of the unboxing videos for CGC, and it's funny to me because every time anybody unboxes anything from CGC where they got cleaning and pressing services, all they do is complain about it. It's like, oh my god, this, I can see pressable defects, or this, it didn't have this crease before, or something like that. And it's like, why do you keep using the service when it doesn't work? I don't know. But anyways, what do you think, guys? Did you see anything there that really caught your eye? Do you do any cleaning and pressing, or do you bother with encapsulation? I don't know how many people are really into that. Some people like it, some people don't. It's a matter of taste. We do both because we read a lot of comic books. Tell us what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Did you get something out of that? Do you like seeing these? Have you seen our key discussions, our underappreciated key recommendations? Do you like that segment? Tell us in the comments section. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. I really like this one. I was a fan of Lobo. It got weird though, kind of like Deadpool. I liked Deadpool before they made him into comedy relief. I don't like the way Deadpool is now. But yeah, please do give us a thumbs up. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you knew all that good stuff. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments section. And we do try to keep track of that. And if that's it, then what more can I say? But thanks for watching. And we will see you again soon.